And so if I don't see something that I like, I'm going to create my own, and in that space I feel like myself. I feel free. Because I like build a home for all of us and it's so big that everyone can fit in there. I can be myself freely and not feel like, oh, I have to be, nervous or shy. Also, why are we nervous? What are we nervous about? Hello, my name is Anea Michelle. I am just excited to be here. I've lived in Pittsburgh for 2 years and I'm all the things. I don't normally like introduce with like jobs, but I'm gonna just say them. I teach Pilates, I teach yoga and sound healing. I'm a doula. All those things I feel like go together, they're aligned. And then I'm also a writer and I work in publishing and I'm a professor as well. So, all the things. But right now, I'm just me hanging out, having so many different hobbies, and happy to be here. So, yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how authentically are you living right now, online and offline? Um, I think online and offline, 10. I honestly feel that way, genuinely. I think it's really hard to not be yourself. That's my opinion. I think like coming online and like having this like personality is that's not for me. So I am genuinely myself. And there was a girl one time I was like at a juice shop in Austin and I was like waiting for my turn and these women were talking behind me and one of them was like, "What juice do we get?" And I just turned around and I was like, "Get these three!" Because it was my last day in Austin and I was like feeling very emotional about that. And she was like, "Wait, I think I like we follow each other online." And she was like, "It's like a breath of fresh air to meet someone who seems to be the same online as offline, because a lot of times you'll meet someone and they'll be shy, but I'm talking to everybody because I want community. I think it's important to make people feel welcomed, and I've been in spaces where I didn't feel welcome. So when it comes to like seeing people, I'm very big on like eye contact or just like I see you. Even if I'm in a store and I don't work there, I'll like help people because I just know like you can just tell when people are lost, right? So I'm like, I just know what it feels like to put yourself out there, and even going to Trader Joe's, like going to a store and then asking someone for help is also like a big thing in itself. So if I can help in any way, I'm going to do it because I don't want anyone to feel embarrassed or just like, I don't know, not like they don't know what they're doing, right? So yeah. Okay, I think I answered both. Okay, talk to me about all of your titles, passions. What is your mission? Why do you do what you do? Okay, I like titles. I like that. So, like 12 years ago, I started moving with yoga, and I remember taking a class and I didn't feel welcome there. Like I didn't like no one said hello when I walked in, and the experience for me was like, okay, this doesn't feel right. And I remember we were in like a forward fold, and I couldn't like touch my toes. And I looked around and I saw some blocks in the back, and I was like, oh. So I just grabbed them, put them on my mat, and like reached for those. And I noticed that like at no point there were any modifications to make people just like feel included. And that started my journey. And I feel like I do that with everything. So if I notice that something is lacking, or if I notice that there's something that I want, instead of complaining about it, I do it. And I do it not in a stressful way. So I'm not like, yes, I have a million jobs, but all of them are very intentional and they all fill my cup. So yeah, so movement, I was teaching third grade girls, and at the time I had them from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. And so after school, we need some kind of like activity. And so I just started teaching yoga to them. And we're learning together just like what is a tool that they can have, they can take home. That like you didn't need anything, you didn't have to buy anything. It's just if you're having a hard time at home, if maybe there's an argument going on that you can't control, you can control how to regulate your nervous system. So just giving those tools for them. That grew into sound healing, being interested in that, getting educated in that. And then I remember taking a Pilates class, felt the same way, where I was like, okay, where are the Black instructors? And so I found one in Austin, Sheree at Align. And I just remember feeling like I want to be someone who's also teaching. So I remember doing that training around the same time. And those are really important to me because I will be teaching like yoga. And before teaching, I literally saw someone walking outside, saw me, and then walked in and was like, I didn't know Black people like taught here. And then they took the class. Like they were literally on the street, like wearing jeans, and then walked in because they were like, wait, I want to be where you are, right? And then I found a collective there of Black women instructors, and that just once you see someone that looks like you feel more comfortable going into a space, even if it's not me teaching, but you know that okay, I feel included here, right? And then I remember talking to someone about just not having an advocate during their birth. And I have a fear of that. I have a fear of not being heard by doctors or just medical professionals. Whether it's, just for, hey, I have this symptom, or, when I'm ready to have children. And I was like, well, I'm going to be a doula. Like, what can I do in order to help people? And so that was really important for me as well. And I don't know. I feel like that it all aligns too. Like the breath work that you use in yoga, the breath work in Pilates can also be used while giving birth or before or after. That anxious feeling that you might have when you're trying to advocate for yourself, regulating your own emotions. Maybe your baby's crying and you need to regulate your emotions before you're able to help that child. So it just all goes together. But then writing is something that I'm interested in. And like since I was a kid, I've always I love telling stories. And my dad would be like, write them down. Never did. Never wrote them down. But I always had them. I still have them up there. And I remember in college, I took an English class, and I was always obsessed with my English teachers. Like even in high school and middle school, my grandma was my teacher in elementary school for 5 years. It sounds cute, but it is cute if she's watching this. It's not that it's not cute. It's just it's a lot because people try to tell on you don't do anything wrong. But being someone in writing and just maybe not seeing yourself in stories and wanting to see yourself in stories, whatever that means. And so I write, I edit books, I work in publishing for that reason too. I work with a black publishing house that's in Austin. It's called Mama's Kitchen Press. But I aspire to be an author one day as well. So really trying to take time to also be able to write what I can. I feel like I do other things, but that's good for now. So yes. And then what is your mission? Why do you do what you do? I also have a book club. So PGH Book Club. That I started a book club in Austin as well, and that ran for 3 years. And then the one here in Pittsburgh has been going for 2 years, and that was simply because I wanted to start one. I have been to other book clubs and noticed that most of the authors were white that they would talk about. Didn't like that. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start one. And we met in April. I didn't know anyone. I just moved here and people showed up and they've been showing up since, and it's just growing. So that grew into, okay, I want to go on a retreat. Seeing that, I was like, okay, the book retreats that I'm seeing are mostly white. So I wanted to create something myself so I can just see myself in things, and everyone can come, but it makes it so you're creating space for people. So that's like, I think the platform that I have. So at the table that I'm at, I will always build a chair, have a stool, have some books for everyone to be able to sit at, no matter where I am. And know that everything that I do just like integrates and works well together, which is really beautiful. That I feel like other people feel like it's overwhelming, but I love it. So yeah, so everything is just about community. I fill my cup by helping others. That makes me so happy. Even at my retreat, there was someone who was like, well, when are you gonna rest? I was like, this is my rest. Like this being here with these people, it's just really nice, right? So yeah. Okay. The next one. You talk about creating space for others. Wow. Do you feel like you have space for yourself? Yes. I feel like I have space for myself now that I've created space, if that makes sense at all. So there was a time, I think I was 19, when I realized, oh, this is the life that I have. Like, this is the only life that you're given. And my dad is my best friend. He would always talk about that. And him and the people before him have all had many jobs, and all of them have been their passions. And so if you see that, you're able to walk in your own path and just feel like you are uniquely you. And so if I don't see something that I like, I'm going to create my own, and in that space I feel like myself. I feel free because I like build a home for all of us, and it's so big that everyone can fit in there. I can be myself freely and not feel like, oh, I have to be, nervous or shy. Also, why are we nervous? What are we nervous about? Even like if you told me right now, hey, there are 5,000 people here, talk. Okay, let's do it, because who are they? who are we? Like, what do I know? If I don't know something, I'm willing to learn what that is, right? So, and I think if you're open to that, or if you acknowledge that you don't know everything, you have an easier life. My opinion. Okay. What part of your story shaped the woman you are today? Um, okay, that's a good one. It's a good question. I think the people that have come before me, seeing the way that they live, and whether if I like it or if I enjoy it or if I don't, knowing, okay, I want to be this person, right? And so some of that comes from pain too. So I don't have a relationship with my mother, and that is from childhood trauma, but also that grew into being older and understanding that our relationship wasn't healthy for me. And that is painful, that is heavy, that is something that you live with every day. And I feel like sometimes people are like, wow, you just seem like you haven't gone through anything. And I'm like, those are the people that have gone through probably the most. But I choose joy every day. That is something, that is a choice. Not everyone is able to make that choice. I acknowledge that, but I am able to wake up every day and choose joy. Because if I woke up and just thought of all the things that I've been through, I would choose pain, and I would choose to be mean. And that would be just a representation of what has happened before me, right? And I know what I can control, I know what I can't. But yeah, I feel like that has really made me to who I am. And I feel like sometimes people are like, well, is there regret there? No, there isn't. There's something really sad but really intentional about grieving someone who is still here, right? That is a very hard thing to acknowledge, but creating boundaries for myself is something that I didn't really see before me, or growing up. And so, because of that, I was like, I have to create boundaries for myself to keep my family that's in my house safe, to keep my heart safe, and to be the best version of myself. And I knew that being the best version of me meant that there are some people that I have to let go of with love, but let go of. So, yeah, these are good questions. Okay. You want to make your younger self proud. What would your younger self say about you now? Well, these are really in order. Wow. Um, she's very proud. Aww. She is. She is very, very proud. She is still here with us today. I think she would really love that I work with authors. That is something, like, I used to sit in the library. I was obsessed with, okay, during lunch in middle school and high school, I was best friends with the librarians. So I would have lunch in the library with friends. It wasn't just me and librarians. Sometimes it was, but my friends and I would sit there because it was too loud in the cafeteria. And I also feel like that it's okay to go to the library because books are there. But she would be very proud of just the book connections that I've created. And I would just tell her, you already know this in your heart, but you are going to do wonderful things, and you're going to be rich in life. I don't mean financially, I just mean rich in love. You are, yeah, you are going to be the best possible vision that you can think of, you are that. Um, and to keep going. That's, I feel like, the biggest thing too. Keep finding that light in the dark rooms and stand in that light in order to keep going to the next room, to keep going in the next part of your life, the next path. But she would just be really happy with like who we are. It's a joint thing. And I think she'd be very proud at how you stand up for yourself because that's important. Um, I think as a kid, you kind of feel intimidated with being able to like use your voice, and I'm not scared anymore. So that's something that I'm really proud of. But I also stand up for others because why are we treating people badly? Okay, what are you learning to love about yourself? I think I'm learning to love the chaos of life. And loving that I'm not listening to other voices and really just allowing myself to listen to my own. There's this idea sometimes that we have to be in one box, like we can't sprout out and enjoy other things. And, working has to look like one thing for people, and that's not true. Thankfully, I feel like as we keep going, people are acknowledging this and it's like, oh, I can do the things that I love and not be stressed every day and actually love waking up in the morning and just doing all the things that work for you. But I think, yeah, just like not acknowledging outside voices as much, which I'm doing, I feel like more and more each day. But that can be hard because you hear people project their own life or their own fears onto you, even if it's not intentional, and you just have to like let it roll off. So taking time to not let things hold my shoulders down and just like release it. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna keep saying this. These are good questions. Okay. How has it felt to be seen in the hot seat today? Feels good. I'm in a comfy seat, a great environment. The questions really made me think. Yeah, I feel like I've never talked about some of these things before, so this will be the first time. And it doesn't feel bad. Like, it just feels like I think sometimes when you bring up family, like it can feel like, oh, I have to keep this to myself, but why? It's my experience, right? So yeah, I'm feeling good. I love this.
Oh, I'm glad you had a good experience.
This is really good. I think my final thoughts is like I feel good. Like I feel like I've known you for a long time.
I love it.
And then the questions I also feel like they naturally go into one another. And then because I like already brought up like, oh, childhood. And then there was a question. I was like, are you changing them as we're